Poff Poff Pass Play. It's the Poff Poff Pass Show mixed with the quadruple play. The sickest sports show, yeah, what the dudes will say. There goes the competition, it just blew away. Blowing up the sports world, get the latest news today. Every Thursday, yeah, from 4 to 6. We got the best stories, the sickest sports clips. We callin' players losers, yeah, they suck. And if they do something crazy, we say, what?
Yo, what is good? Poff Poff Pass is finally back, baby. I'm Zach Poff here with JT Blaze, also known as Jake Poff. What's good, dude?
Doing good, man. Can't wait for another exciting year of sports. Football around the corner, baseball playoffs coming up, and some UFC. It's going to be a fun year to go over some sports with my cool little bro over here. Let's get it cracking, man.
Cool little bro. I'm way cooler than that. All right, first
Okay.
of all, we got a lot on tap here this afternoon. We've got some baseball talk. Dodgers have been red hot. Oakland A's hanging right there with Texas, a half game out of first place in the AL West. Also, Fox Sports 1 makes their official sports network debut here this afternoon with an absolutely stacked UFC card. And also, too, we'll have a little NFL talk at the end of the show. We'll pick our sleepers in the AFC along with the NFC. Let's jump right into it, partner. Let's start talking about Major League Baseball. And we got to start with the Los Angeles Dodgers, who are 41-8 over their last 49 games. And have an 8.5-game lead over the Arizona Diamondbacks in the National League West, the second highest lead in entire Major League Baseball.
It feels good. Remember our last show? Dodgers were in last place.
It was depressing.
It was depressing. And look at our pep in our step right now. Well, I guess we're not stepping around, but just how excited we are right now, you can tell the Dodgers are red hot. And one of the biggest reasons they're red hot is our boy Yasiel Puig doing work on the baseball field. Once Puig came into the lineup, it's energized this team, energized fans, and the Dodgers are red hot and not looking back since Puig has come into the lineup. It's been an amazing year for Dodger baseball.
And if you look at Yasiel Puig, I mean, you want to talk about a five-tool player. Yasiel Puig is exactly that. Yasiel Puig, he can hit for power. He can hit for average. He can run the base pass very well. The kid has an absolute cannon out in right field. As we've seen all year long, Yasiel Puig has been absolutely dynamite with the glove and the arm out in right field. But it's been a lot more than Yasiel Puig. The pitching staff has been phenomenal here as of late. Ever since Kenley Jansen got put into the closer's role, everybody in the bullpen knew their role. Ronald Belisario has been a lot better. Brandon League, I hope he just kind of stays in the back end and doesn't come out and pitch anymore. Yeah. But outside of Brandon League, bullpen has been very effective. You mentioned it earlier when we were talking before the show. Paco Rodriguez has been one of the best left-handed guys coming out of the pen.
They also have guys, you know, that Chris Powell, or dang it, not
JP Howell.
JP Howell has also been doing really well too. And Withrow is another guy who comes out of the bullpen and does work for them. And also, you cannot forget the starting pitching, the three-headed monster that has really been doing work for the Dodgers. And what's funny, out of the three-headed monster, Kershaw has actually gotten the least amount of wins. But if we look at Kershaw, Greinke, and Ryu, just some stats for you guys right now. Kershaw is 11-7, but with a 1.88 ERA, leading the MLB right now with the lowest ERA. You also have Greinke, who is now 11-3, an ERA of 3.2, and don't forget Ryu is 12-3, only a rookie coming into this season, and also an ERA of 2.91. So the three-headed monster has been getting it done for the starting rotation, and as you went over, partner, the bullpen has been lights out, along with all the guys in the lineup. This team doesn't have a weakness, and they're getting ready for postseason time.
And if you want to talk about the Dodgers pitching, you got to talk about the hitting also. The team has been phenomenal since Hanley Ramirez has come back from the disabled list. The kid has been absolute money with the leather at short, but hitting has been the story for Hanley Ramirez and the Dodgers. The one nice thing is Adrian Gonzalez has been consistent all year long, and he really should have been an all-star and really should be in MVP discussions when talking about the National League MVP, because really Gonzo has been the most important Dodger this year because he's been consistent from day one. And you look at the Dodgers, I mean, the last team to go 41-8 over a 49-game stretch, you have to go all the way back to 1942 when Stan the Man Musial was playing with the St. Louis Cardinals and helped them win the 1942 World Series over the New York Yankees. I can't even do the math. That was so long ago. I'm not even going to try and attempt to do the math.
Don't look at me for the math. Yeah, we know that's not going to work out too well.
But over the last 16 series, the Dodgers have not lost one of those series. They've won 12, and they've split 4 of those series. Pretty impressive what the Dodgers are doing down in Hollywood. Really, you can't even write a script there down in Hollywood. The Dodgers are doing it for all the directors down in L.A.
You can't. Another thing to point out, too, this team on the road is 18-1 right now.
Over
They
the
also,
last 19, yeah.
and I believe they won 14 in a row on the road. So when you're able to do that on the road and you're able to have starting pitching, bullpen come in and close games out, along with the lineup that's hot, you're going to win a lot of games, and the Dodgers have proven that. One more thing I want to touch on with the lineup, too. Don't forget the utility guys who have been brought a huge uplift to this team. You have guys like Skip Schumacher, Punto, that has also been a great pickup this year. Jerry Hairston, another guy. So they have guys on the bench, in the starting lineup, with pitching and hitting that can get the job done, and that's exactly what they're doing right now. And the Dodgers bet and win all in, and they're getting double aces pretty much.
I like how you kind of figured out what you were saying there. Right
I
at
almost
the end,
said
partner.
double kings, double jacks. Like, no, pocket aces is the best.
But one last thing on the Dodgers real quick. I know Yasiel Puig is getting a lot of the spotlight and everything, but really Yasiel Puig, this kid has been absolute money when it comes to energy and really picking up teammates, because the Dodgers were lacking so much energy before June 3rd when Yasiel Puig was called up, and ever since he got called up, you could just see the team finally starting to have some fun again. And you know who was the happiest about Yasiel Puig getting called up?
Mattingly?
Yeah, Donnie Baseball.
You
His
know
job
it.
was in jeopardy until Yasiel Puig came up. Now all of a sudden he could be the front runner for National League Manager of the Year. Really impressive what the Dodgers are doing. Now you want to talk about impressive performance here this week, got to talk about Alfonso Soriano. Soriano's last 4 games, he's batting .722 with 5 long balls, 18 RBIs, has a slugging percentage at 1.611.
Wow.
Absolutely ridiculous. And his 18 RBIs in the last 4 games tied an MLB record for most during any 4-game span. And also looking at Soriano, he became the 3rd player ever to post back-to-back 6 RBI games. It's pretty impressive what Soriano's doing. And he's helping carry the Yankees kind of back to the wild card race, which was a problem with New York, but they've won 5 out of their last 6. So real quick before we take a break, let's go ahead and talk about the American League playoff race. Who do you got in the AL West, partner?
Man, well, the AL West, it was tough for me to decide between Texas and Oakland because I think both teams are pretty evenly matched. But at the end of the day, if you look at Oakland's starting rotation,
you don't want to make our producer Stosh upset here if you go against the Oakland Athletics.
That's another key thing. I'm not trying to get jumped after the show, but if you look at this lineup, they have guys like Cespedes starting to heat up. Another guy that's heat up is Reddick, who's come back into the season late and really started to play well. And if you look at their starting rotation, even though Cologne's fallen off a little bit, let me read some numbers for you guys, what Oakland has done. They're 8th in ERA in the major leagues right now, 5th in quality starts, 3rd in whip, and 5th in batting average against, meaning that they're shutting hitters down in the American League, which we all know is more about hitting than pitching. So if the A's starting rotation can hold up and that bullpen can also hold up, I think the A's are going to close out, and I think they're going to have a nice run at the end of the year, and their schedule is also easier too.
Partner,
so I definitely think the A's are going to take it.
This was a simple question, and you just kept going on. Are you taking the A's or are you taking Texas?
I'm taking the A's, and I think Texas will get the wild card.
I've got the A's taking down the American League West. You're spot on. You talked about pitching. Pitching wins games, and you look at Texas, outside of Matt Garza and outside of Yu Darvish, really the pitching is not there, and they don't have the same depth in the rotation as the Oakland Athletics. Now moving on to the American League Central, partner. You've got the Detroit Tigers, most likely going to run away with that division. Even worth discussing who's going to win that division, partner.
I have Detroit. I don't think anyone else. Indians have made a good run this year.
Kansas City's been playing really well
Kansas City
after the break.
also. The problem is the AL East is just too stacked, and those teams have been too successful, and I think the wild card isn't going to end up going to one of those teams, if not both.
So we'll do the AL East real quick. You got Tampa Bay, Boston, or Baltimore?
Man, this was also a tough one between Boston and Tampa Bay, but at the end of the day, I ended up picking Boston, and the real reason is this team can hit. If you look at the things they do in the major leagues right now, they're 1st in runs scored, 2nd in batting average, 1st in on-base percentage, and 3rd in slugging. So they're top 5 in every aspect of hitting, and I think that lineup is going to end up getting the job done. And also don't forget that they have guys that are going to be coming in for that starting rotation, meaning, is it Buchholz? I never can say his name right. Buchholz. I always say Buchholz. Buchholz will be coming back within the next week.
The way you pronounced it earlier was just, I mean, I didn't want to act like I knew you.
Yeah, I know. That's why I had to ask you before I knew I'd mess it up. But either way, this starting rotation is going to be able to hold up, and I also like the move they did getting Peavy. He's another guy that can come in and win some clutch games for them. I think Boston's going to take it, but I still think Tampa Bay is going to be close behind getting the wild card.
I disagree, partner. I definitely love Tampa Bay in this one, and it's all about pitching, man, and Tampa Bay has the pitching. They remind me, I was talking to the old man yesterday talking about this. The Oakland A's are the Western version of the Tampa Bay Rays. Have a ton of young talent, have great arms, have a very deep bullpen, and have a very good manager it gets along with all their players.
Yeah.
Obviously, Joe Madden and Bob Melvin are two of the best managers in all of baseball. I love Tampa Bay winning the AL East just because of pitching. And real quick, the two wild card teams, I think one will come out of the East, and I think the other one's going to come out of the West. I like Texas grabbing one of the wild cards, and obviously the Boston Red Sox getting the other wild card spot. Those are the 5 teams I got.
I totally agree. I mean, we had such a good debate just about who's going to win the division. So obviously the division winner who doesn't win the division is going to end up with that wild card spot. So I also think it's going to be Texas, and then I'm taking Tampa Bay. So we're pretty much even on that. And I think it's going to be a close battle between each division on who ends up actually getting the win at the end of the year and getting the division spot.
And next week we'll break down the National League and give you our playoff predictions for that week. So stay tuned for that next week. But coming up next, we're going to have some UFC talk.
Yeah.
Fox Sports 1 finally makes their debut. Finally another sports program that maybe will be able to challenge ESPN as the #1 sports station globally.